This means that both the bacteria and the worm depend on each other for survival. A special sac inside the tube worm provides a safe environment for the bacteria. In exchange, the bacteria convert chemicals in the vent fluid into sugars that nourish the tube worm. Life varies from vent to vent, but all of it relies on these bacteria to turn chemicals into food. Rose Garden was an awe-inspiring place, but it wasn't to last. On a 2002 visit, Tim was in Alvin. Then, as today, the crew went down, and then, as today, the vents were nowhere to be found. Instead, all around was fresh black lava. The beating volcanic heart that powered the hydrothermal wonderland had erupted, burying the famous vents and all the tube worms and other life forms beneath massive piles of lava. Nearby, the crew found a new vent with younger versions of the life they had seen at Rose Garden. The scientists named it Rosebud in honor of its famous forefather. Now Rosebud, too, is missing. From observing phenomenon like this, scientists have learned that hydrothermal vent systems have definite and distinct lifespans as complete and diverse as yours and mine. They are born, they grow, and they die. When vents die, though, they don't go alone. All the animals that rely on them, from the tiny microbes to the mussels, tube worms, and massive clams, die with them. Hydrothermal vents and the animals that they support live on borrowed time in a world of ticking time bombs. Just the slightest change in the underground plumbing that powers a vent can lead to its extinction or death. The only way for the organisms that live on and around the vents to survive and thrive is to grow up fast and have a lot of offspring. After hours of searching the Rosebud site, the team found only one hopeful sign that life may be still in the area. Mussels, living at the border of fresh lava, but far from an active vent. Had these been pushed by the lava from Rosebud to a new home? Scientists had seen other mussels that rode lava flows hundreds of yards away from a vent. Were these all that remained of Rosebud? If so, they were a grave reminder of the temporary nature of most vents and the power of magma chambers beneath. As the day wound down, Sirius and little Herc returned to the surface and were hoisted onto the back deck of the ship. The visit to Rosebud, although far from what Tim and the others had expected, had given them new insight into what they had found at Ukapaka and Pegasus. The team was anxious to see what the day's dive would reveal. Shallow water crabs like this one find protection from predators by living with anemones. Like tube worms, mussels need bacteria but have other ways of getting food. This means that they can survive both in and away from a vent. Symbiosis. Two different species living together for the benefit of one or both of the organisms. There are about 285 billion bacteria in every ounce of tissue in a tube worm.